If you're a man over 60, I need your full attention, because what I'm about to share could completely change the way you feel about your body, your energy, and your manhood. For decades, I've watched men blame their age, their genes, even their past choices for the slow, silent decline in their sexual performance. But what if the real problem was hiding right there on your plate? The truth is, most men over 60 are unknowingly starving their erections every single day, not with bad habits, but with missing ingredients, and it's costing them the strength, confidence, and intimacy they once had. My name is Dr. Mohit Kara. I'm a board-certified urologist and men's health specialist, and for over 30 years, I've helped thousands of men just like you reclaim their vitality, not just in the bedroom, but in their everyday lives. And through years of research and patient transformations, I've discovered something powerful. You don't need another prescription. You don't need to accept decline as your new normal. The answer may be 5 simple vegetables, backed by science, proven to improve blood flow, raise natural testosterone, and restore strong, lasting erections in men over 60. In just a moment, I'll walk you through each one, what to eat, how it works, and when to use it. And be sure to stay until the end, because I'll reveal the single most powerful vegetable to eat before bed. So stay with me, because what I'm about to share next could be the difference between fading quietly or rising confidently into the best chapter of your life. The first vegetable might be sitting in your fridge right now, and it's more powerful than you think. Before we dive into the vegetables that can change your health, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. I share real, practical advice specifically for men over 60, and I don't want you to miss what's coming next. And if this topic speaks to you, just type 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, type 0 and tell me what you'd like to hear more about. Your feedback helps me help you better. So now, let's get into the heart of it. These aren't exotic superfoods or expensive supplements, just real, everyday vegetables you can find at your local grocery store. But when used the right way, they can have a powerful effect on blood flow, hormone balance, and your ability to perform like the man you used to be. Let's start with the first, and possibly most overlooked vegetable that could help restore your erection strength, naturally and safely. Vegetable 1, beets, the natural blood flow booster. I'll never forget the day one of my longtime patients, a retired school principal named Alan, walked into my office. He was 68 at the time, proud, confident, but there was a sadness behind his eyes. He leaned in and said, "Doc, everything else in my life feels fine, but down there, it's like something's gone numb. I'm eating healthy, I walk every morning, but when it's time to be intimate, nothing works like it used to." That moment stayed with me, because I've heard it from hundreds of men like Alan, men who did everything right and still found themselves quietly losing a part of themselves they once took for granted. I told Alan the same thing I'm going to tell you right now. It's not about age, it's about circulation. Erections, after all, are all about blood flow. And for many men over 60, the problem isn't the desire, it's the plumbing. If blood can't flow easily through your arteries, it simply won't reach the penis in the volume or pressure needed for a strong erection. That's where beets come in. Beets are one of nature's richest sources of natural nitrates, compounds your body converts into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is what opens up your blood vessels, relaxes their walls, and lets blood flow freely. In simple terms, more nitric oxide means better circulation, and better circulation means firmer, fuller erections. And the science backs this up. Clinical studies show that dietary nitrates from beets can improve vascular health, lower blood pressure, and support better oxygen delivery throughout the body. For men like Alan, who aren't interested in relying on blue pills for the rest of their lives, this is a game changer. But it's not just about what beets contain, it's also about how they work in the male body after 60. As we age, our body produces less nitric oxide naturally. That's one reason men begin to experience weaker erections, fatigue, or even memory issues. Beets help close that gap by giving your body the raw material it needs to reignite that internal engine. I usually recommend beet juice for the fastest results, about a half glass, 3 to 4 times a week. But roasted or steamed beets work well too, especially when combined with healthy fats like olive oil, which help absorb the nutrients more effectively. Some men even blend beets into smoothies with apples or carrots, creating a powerful circulation cocktail that helps not just in the bedroom, but throughout the day. Alan took the advice seriously. Within 6 weeks, he came back with a new look in his eye. He wasn't just getting better erections, he was sleeping deeper, walking faster, even laughing more. He told me, "I didn't think something so simple could make me feel like me again." And that, right there, is the reason I do what I do. If you felt yourself slowing down, physically or sexually, know this: your body still wants to work for you. It just needs the right fuel. Beets might not be flashy or exciting, but inside that deep red root is a natural formula your body understands. It's not a drug, it's not a gimmick, it's food, working with your biology to help you come back to life, one heartbeat at a time. And speaking of overlooked vegetables with powerful effects, the next one on the list is something Popeye swore by, but not for the reason you think. This leafy green does more than build muscle. It has a direct impact on testosterone and blood flow, and when I tell you how it works in the male body after 60, you're going to want to add it to your plate tonight. Let's talk about it. If you're still here and this message is resonating with you, just type the number 1 in the comments to let me know you're still with me and ready to take back your strength. Now, let's move on to the next powerful vegetable. Vegetable 2, spinach, the erections and energy leaf. When most people think of spinach, they picture cartoon muscles or childhood dinners they tried to avoid. But to me, spinach is something else entirely. I think of energy, of blood flow, of vitality. I think of one of my patients, Carl, a 72-year-old widower who'd recently remarried. He came to me with a smile on his face, but a quiet anxiety beneath it. "Doc," he said, "I love this woman. I didn't think I'd get another shot at love in this lifetime, but I'm scared I won't be enough for her, scared my body can't keep up with what my heart wants." That hit me deeply, because that fear of not being enough is something so many older men carry silently. But what I've learned is this: many times, the solution isn't complicated. Sometimes, it's something as simple as what you put on your plate. Spinach is one of the most underrated erection-friendly foods I know. It's packed with magnesium, which plays a key role in dilating blood vessels and improving blood circulation. And when blood circulation improves, so does your ability to achieve and maintain an erection. Magnesium also helps regulate testosterone levels, the hormone that governs male energy, strength, and libido. As men age, our testosterone naturally dips. But spinach helps slow that decline, supporting your body's own hormone balance in a safe, natural way. But it doesn't stop there. Spinach is also rich in folate, a B vitamin that supports healthy blood flow to the pelvic region. Low levels of folate have been linked to erectile dysfunction, especially in older men. It also helps reduce inflammation, protect your blood vessels, and even support nerve health, all of which are critical when you're trying to reignite intimacy. I remember telling Carl, "Start adding spinach to your meals. A handful here, a sautéed side there, nothing fancy, just consistent." He took it seriously. He added spinach to his eggs in the morning, tossed it into soups, used it in smoothies with bananas and almond milk. Nothing extreme, just small, steady steps. When he returned for a follow-up 2 months later, his energy was different. He said, "Doc, I feel like I'm waking up. I'm more present, more confident, and the other night, something happened with my wife. No pressure, no awkwardness. It just worked, like my body remembered who I was." That's the power of nutrition, not in crash diets or supplements with names you can't pronounce, but in real, whole foods that speak your body's natural language. Spinach may not be glamorous, but it's a powerhouse. A daily dose of this leafy green sends a message to your body. I still care. I still want to live well. I still want to love. And if you're still skeptical, I understand. Maybe you've tried things before. Maybe you've been disappointed. But food, real food, doesn't lie. It doesn't promise overnight miracles, but it can deliver long-term transformation if you give it the time and consistency it deserves. Now, we've talked about blood flow and testosterone, but what if there was a vegetable that doesn't just support circulation, but actually helps clear out the arteries that feed your erection? Something that works from the inside out, like nature's own detoxifier, and has been quietly used for centuries to improve performance and desire? The next vegetable may not be sweet or sexy, but it's one of the most powerful roots in your kitchen, and its benefits go far beyond the bedroom. Let's talk about it. Vegetable 3. Garlic, the bedroom root. I'll be honest, garlic doesn't exactly scream romance. It's strong, it lingers, and let's face it, it's not something you'd want on your breath before date night. But let me tell you a story that might change how you think about it forever. A few years ago, I had a patient named Ray, 74, retired Navy, still walked with purpose, but behind his eyes you could tell something was wearing on him. He wasn't sick, he wasn't frail, but he felt invisible. He said, "Doc, my mind's still sharp, but my body doesn't respond like it used to. I feel like I'm fading, like the man I was is slipping away." I asked Ray about his diet, his routine, and then I gave him a suggestion that made him laugh out loud. Garlic. "Garlic?" he chuckled. "That's what my mother used when I had a cold." And I nodded. "Exactly. Your mother was onto something. But what she didn't know is that garlic might also be the key to getting you back in the bedroom." Garlic contains a compound called allicin. It's what gives garlic that strong smell, and it's also what gives it its power. Allicin improves blood flow, reduces arterial plaque, and supports healthier circulation throughout the body. And we're not just talking about your heart or your brain, we're talking about the very blood vessels that feed your erection. You see, as we age, our arteries naturally begin to stiffen. Plaque builds up, reducing the flow of blood to areas that need it most. Garlic works like a natural cleanser, helping your vessels stay open and relaxed. That's the foundation of a healthy, lasting erection, blood that moves freely without obstruction or resistance. But garlic does more than just improve circulation. It also supports testosterone production. Research has shown that garlic increases the release of luteinizing hormone, which in turn signals your body to produce more testosterone, the fuel for libido, drive, and sexual stamina. Ray was skeptical, but he agreed to try it. I told him to start small, just a clove or two of raw garlic per day, chopped and allowed to sit for 10 minutes before adding to his meals. That 10-minute wait activates the allicin. It's the difference between just eating garlic and letting garlic work its magic. We also talked about timing. Garlic can be most effective when added to dinner. That way, it supports overnight vascular health and hormone balance, both of which are vital for those early morning erections men often start losing as they age. 6 weeks later, Ray came back into my office. This time, he was smiling before he even sat down. "Doc," he said, "I didn't expect much, but I feel alive again. My energy's up. My wife noticed I've been more affectionate, more engaged, and last weekend, well, let's just say we didn't need to watch a movie to enjoy our evening." That's what I want for every man listening to this. Not just an erection, but a spark. Something that reminds you of the man you've always been. Garlic isn't a miracle drug, it's a tool. A natural, powerful tool that supports what your body already knows how to do. I always say this to my patients: you don't need to become someone else to reclaim your masculinity. You just need to clear away the obstacles and let your body do what it was designed to do. Garlic helps you do exactly that, starting with your circulation and ending in the confidence you feel behind closed doors. Now, garlic may help power the flow of blood and hormones, but what if there was a vegetable that could quietly increase your testosterone? Not by fixing your blood, but by flipping a switch your body forgot it had. The next one doesn't look impressive. In fact, you've probably walked right past it 100 times at the store. But inside this crunchy, simple stalk lies one of the most surprising secrets to male vitality, and it works faster than you might think. Let's get into it. If you're still watching and finding these insights meaningful, type the number 1 in the comments to let me know you're here, and that this message matters to you. Now, let's keep going with the fourth powerful vegetable on our list. Vegetable 4. Celery, the hidden testosterone trick. There's a vegetable sitting quietly in your refrigerator drawer right now, maybe buried under heavier groceries, maybe forgotten. It's pale green, watery, and honestly, it doesn't look like much. But if you're a man over 60 and your energy has taken a dive, your drive is low, and your confidence is fading, this simple stalk may be your secret weapon. I'm talking about celery. Now I know what you might be thinking. Celery? Really? I get it. It's usually just a sidekick, crunchy filler in a tuna salad or something we spread peanut butter on. But the truth is, celery holds a secret most men don't know. It contains compounds that may help boost testosterone and subtly shift your hormonal balance back in your favor. Let me tell you about George. He was 66 when he came to see me. Tall, quiet, a former high school football coach. "Doc," he said, "I'm not the man I was. I don't get up in the morning ready to move. I'm sluggish. And it's affecting how I feel in every part of my life, including the bedroom." I looked at his labs. His testosterone was lower than average, but not unusual for his age. He didn't want injections or medications. "I just want to try something natural first," he said. That's when I brought up celery. Celery contains two powerful compounds, androstenone and androstenol. These are natural plant-based pheromones that can influence how your body processes and releases testosterone. They also play a role in how others perceive your masculinity. Yes, even how you smell and carry yourself. More importantly, celery is packed with vitamin K, which supports healthy blood flow and cardiovascular health. Two things that matter more than ever when you're trying to maintain a strong erection. And here's something fascinating. Celery also contains apigenin, a natural anti-inflammatory that's been shown to boost testosterone production in animal studies. It doesn't force your body to do anything unnatural. Instead, it creates the internal environment where testosterone can rise naturally, safely, gently, and gradually. George took the suggestion seriously. He added celery to his morning juice, alongside apple, lemon, and ginger. He started snacking on celery sticks in the afternoon instead of chips or crackers. At first, he didn't notice much, but around week 4, something shifted. He came into my office, sat down, and said, "Doc, I've got my mornings back. I wake up with energy again, and my wife said she noticed I'm standing a little taller, if you know what I mean." That kind of transformation doesn't happen overnight. It happens when you give your body the signals it needs to do what it was made to do. Celery might not be flashy, but it works quietly, from the inside out. It supports your hormones, strengthens your blood flow, and gives you a subtle but steady lift, not just below the belt, but in your energy, your clarity, and your sense of self. I've had patients tell me they feel more assertive after adding celery to their diet. Not aggressive, just more grounded, more like themselves. And that's the beauty of it. Because the goal here isn't to become someone else. It's to return to the strongest, clearest version of who you are. So if you've been feeling disconnected from your energy or desire, don't overlook the simple things. Sometimes, the smallest habits bring the biggest changes. A stalk of celery might be the nudge your body's been waiting for. Now, we've talked about blood flow, hormone support, and circulation, but there's one vegetable left that's unlike the others. It's not leafy, it's not watery, and it's not known for its romance, but it has something unique. A powerful combination of antioxidants and nutrients linked to better fertility, stronger erections, and even sharper mental focus. It's sweet, it's crunchy, and you probably haven't thought of it as a bedroom food, but after this, you will. Let's dive in. Vegetable 5. Carrots, the fertility and blood flow combo. If I asked you to name a vegetable that improves eyesight, you'd probably say carrots without thinking twice. But what if I told you that same bright orange root, something you've probably eaten hundreds of times without a second thought, could also help sharpen performance in another area entirely? I'm talking about blood flow, nerve function, even fertility. Carrots may not be flashy or exotic, but they have quietly earned a powerful place in the world of men's sexual health. I remember a patient named Frank, 71, a retired electrician from Michigan. Tough guy, honest eyes, hands that looked like they could still carry a ladder. But he came into my office one day with a vulnerability I won't forget. He told me he'd been married for over 40 years and still loved his wife deeply. "We still hold hands," he said, "but when it comes to anything more, I feel like my body just doesn't show up." His voice cracked. "I miss feeling like a man." That broke my heart. Not because he was broken, he wasn't, but because he had no idea how much power still lived inside him. He just needed the right support to bring it out. That's when I told him about carrots. Most people don't realize it, but carrots are rich in beta-carotene and antioxidants that help repair and protect the delicate blood vessels and nerves that control erection strength. Over time, oxidative stress, caused by poor diet, stress, aging, and inflammation, can damage these systems. Carrots help fight back against that damage, restoring balance and improving function at the root level. But there's more. Carrots have been linked to improved sperm count and motility, even in older men. And while fertility may not be top of mind for most men over 60, it's not just about reproduction. It's about keeping your entire reproductive system healthy, active, and functioning well into your later years. Carrots also help improve circulation through their high levels of vitamin A and C, which support vascular integrity. And let's not forget fiber. Carrots help manage blood sugar levels, which is incredibly important. Blood sugar spikes and insulin resistance are major contributors to erectile dysfunction as men age. Keeping those levels steady helps preserve sensitivity, blood flow, and hormonal health, all of which are crucial to performance and pleasure. Frank took it to heart. He started eating raw carrots as an afternoon snack. He began roasting them with a bit of olive oil and garlic at dinner. Sometimes he'd juice them with apples in the morning, something easy to sip on before his daily walk. Within a couple of months, I saw a shift. His energy was lighter, his tone was different. And when he told me, "We've been close again," and not just emotionally, I saw something even more important return to his face: pride. That's what food can do. Not in a single bite or overnight, but over time, with intention. Carrots don't just support the biology of arousal, they nourish the emotional space where confidence grows back. For men like Frank, and maybe even for you, that confidence is worth everything. You don't need a complete life overhaul to start feeling like yourself again. Sometimes it's just about giving your body what it's been quietly asking for all along. Carrots remind us that healing and performance don't always come from a lab. Sometimes they grow in the dirt. Now, we've talked about 5 powerful vegetables that work during the day, boosting blood flow, hormone balance, and overall energy. But there's one more I've saved for last. It's not meant for your morning smoothie or your lunch salad. This one is for bedtime. It works while you sleep, restoring circulation, improving overnight testosterone production, and preparing your body for the kind of mornings you haven't had in years. It's simple, it's overlooked, and it may just be the most important vegetable on the entire list. Let's talk about it. 6. The one vegetable before bed. The final secret. There's something powerful about what happens to a man's body while he sleeps. It's when our systems reset. Hormones are produced, blood vessels repair. And if you're over 60, the nighttime hours are when your body either reclaims its strength or quietly drifts further from it. That's why what you eat before bed matters more than most people realize. And tonight, I want to introduce you to one final vegetable that can make a world of difference. It's not fancy, it's not expensive, but it's one of the few foods I recommend specifically at night for men who are serious about regaining their energy, their confidence, and their performance. That vegetable is asparagus. I still remember one patient in particular. His name was Walter, 75 years old, a retired accountant, polite, reserved, the kind of man who didn't talk much about feelings, especially not in a doctor's office. But one day, after we had talked about his labs and discussed how his testosterone was trending lower, he said quietly, "I just want to feel useful again, like I've still got something to give." That stayed with me, because I know he wasn't just talking about work or chores. He was talking about connection, about presence, about intimacy. So I asked Walter to try something different. Not a pill, not a supplement, but a simple change to his evening meal. I told him to start adding steamed asparagus to his dinner 3 nights a week, lightly sautéed, not overcooked. A handful of stalks drizzled with olive oil, maybe a pinch of sea salt. It seemed almost too simple, but here's what most people don't know. Asparagus is loaded with nutrients that work in harmony with your body's overnight recovery systems. Asparagus is rich in folate, which supports blood flow and nerve function. It contains glutathione, a powerful antioxidant that helps fight oxidative stress, the very kind that damages the tissues responsible for achieving and maintaining erections. And it's high in vitamin E, a nutrient strongly associated with hormone regulation and natural testosterone production. But the real magic of asparagus is how it supports the male body after dark. Most testosterone is produced during sleep, especially in the early hours of the morning. If your body isn't getting the nutrients it needs during the evening, that hormonal wave can flatten. And that's often the silent beginning of reduced libido, fatigue, and the kind of slow decline that leaves many men wondering where their spark went. When Walter came back for his follow-up, I noticed it before he even sat down. There was more color in his face, a quiet confidence in his posture. He told me, "Doc, I've been sleeping better, waking up more, ready. Not just sexually, but mentally. It's like something's been refilled. That's the goal. Not just stronger erections, but a stronger life." Asparagus works because it respects the rhythm of your body. It supports your natural processes without force or disruption. It doesn't just get you through the night. It prepares you for the next day and for every moment you want to reclaim. It's the kind of quiet support that builds up over time, until one day you realize you're no longer wishing for a better version of yourself. You're living it. So if you've made it this far, and you've taken in everything we've covered, the power of beets, spinach, garlic, celery, carrots, and now asparagus, you're probably asking yourself one important question. What do I do now? How do I turn this knowledge into real, lasting change? Because knowing is only the beginning. The next step, the most important one, is what we're going to talk about next. And if you've ever doubted whether your best years are behind you, the next few words might just change your mind. Let's finish strong. Conclusion. If you've made it this far, I want to take a moment to speak to you directly, not as a doctor, but as someone who's seen what age can do to a man's spirit and what the right choices can do to restore it. You've just learned about 6 powerful vegetables. Not pills, not fads, not gimmicks, just food. Real, whole, accessible food. Each one playing a unique role in helping men over 60 reclaim something they thought was gone for good. We started with beets, that deep red root that supercharges your blood flow and helps your arteries open wide again. It's not flashy, but it gets to the root of the issue: circulation. I've watched men who were skeptical at first begin waking up with stronger, more reliable erections after just a few weeks of adding beet juice to their routine. Then we move to spinach, a leafy green that goes to work on your testosterone, your energy, your sense of power as a man. You don't need to bench press to feel strong. Sometimes, strength comes from having enough vitality to fully show up for the people you love. Spinach helps you do that, quietly, steadily, without side effects or surprises. Garlic surprised a lot of my patients. They'd used it for flavor their whole lives, never knowing it could help reduce arterial plaque and gently nudge testosterone levels upward. It's nature's repair kit, strong, humble, and deeply effective. I've seen men regain not just performance, but self-respect by simply letting garlic do what it's done for centuries. Celery was one of the quietest game changers. It's not just about blood flow, it's about restoring hormonal confidence. The kind of internal shift that changes how you walk, how you talk, even how others respond to you. That patient I told you about, George, found himself standing a little taller, not just physically, but emotionally. That's the power of restoring balance. Then came carrots. Sweet, familiar, but stronger than most people realize. Carrots don't just help with fertility and reproductive health. They defend your blood vessels and nerves from the wear and tear of time. And when you start feeling a little more in control of your own body, everything else in your life starts to open up too. And finally, Asparagus, the quiet finisher, the vegetable that works while you sleep. Supporting testosterone production, healing the tiny blood vessels, improving the quality of your rest. That one change, for many men, has helped restore the kind of mornings they hadn't had in years. Now, here's the part where I want to speak to your heart. Because maybe you're feeling hopeful right now, or maybe you're still skeptical. That's okay. I know this isn't easy. You've been told for years that decline is inevitable, that this is just part of getting older, but I'm here to tell you, it doesn't have to be. I've spent over 30 years helping men rewrite the story of what aging looks like. I've seen men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s turn things around. Not because they bought the latest supplement or followed some rigid diet, but because they made small, consistent choices that honored their body's natural ability to heal, to rebuild, to thrive. You don't need to do everything at once. You just need to begin. Start with one change. Add beets to your breakfast smoothie, throw a handful of spinach in your eggs, dice up a clove of garlic at dinner, pick one vegetable, one action, one day, and let that be the start of something new. Because this isn't just about sex, it's about identity. It's about feeling useful, desired, awake. It's about being fully present in your relationships, not as a man who's fading, but as a man who still has so much left to give. Your body hasn't given up on you. It's just waiting for you to feed it what it's been missing. These 6 vegetables, they're not just ingredients, they're tools, and what you build with them could be the most rewarding chapter of your life. So now the next step is yours, and I hope, truly, that you take it. Not for me, for you, because you're not done yet, you're just getting started. If this message spoke to you, if even one part of it made you feel seen, understood, or inspired, please take a moment to give this video a like. It helps more men like you find this information when they need it most. And if you know a friend, a brother, or a father who might benefit from hearing this, share it with them. You never know the difference one conversation can make. I'd also love to hear from you personally. Drop a comment below and tell me which of the 6 vegetables you're going to try first, or what part of this video hit home for you. I read every single comment, and your words remind me why I keep doing this work. And if you believe in what we're building here, honest, empowering health advice for older men, and you'd like to support this mission, consider making a small donation. It helps keep this channel alive and allows me to reach even more people who need it. Your journey doesn't end here, it begins here. Let's take this next step, together.